protect himself from the coronavirus.
The frontline workers, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it.
All this despite no scientific evidence it works and a warning from the FDA against using it. The concerns this morning about the president's own health and the dangerous message he's sending. All this as President Trump also lashes out overnight at the World Health Organization, threatening to cut U.S. funding permanently over their relationship with China.
New hope, a COVID vaccine from a major drug maker reporting positive results from the first human trial, now poised to test as many as 10,000 people as early as July.
Quarantine fatigue. Angry protesters forcing open a gym in New Jersey. Texas opening up their health clubs 2 days after marking its highest one-day increase in cases. And now, hard-hit New York City could start reopening in June. Major flooding in the Midwest, from Illinois to Michigan. Rivers dangerously rising, evacuations underway. This morning, 8 states under flood watches. Ginger's tracking the latest.
New twist in the case of those missing Idaho siblings. Exclusive police body cam footage shows Lori Vallow's late husband telling police she'd gone crazy, threatening to kill him, and worried she might try to hurt the kids. The footage only on GMA this morning.
And one-on-one with Magic Johnson, how he's giving back to small businesses in a big way, the $100 million pledge. And the megastar sharing a behind-the-scenes look from that blockbuster Michael Jordan docuseries, The Last Dance. Magic Johnson, the NBA legend, live on GMA.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Thank you guys for joining us on this Tuesday morning. And Robin, we've got a big morning ahead.
We certainly do, my friend. So many healthcare heroes, as we know, have stepped up in the fight against COVID-19. We're excited for everyone to meet 2 first responders who came to New York to help out on the front lines. Megan is a paramedic, Kyle an EMT. They're engaged. And since their wedding plans had to change, you know where we're going with this, we decided to throw them a big old Times Square wedding. And we cannot wait till they say I do live right here on GMA, George.
We sure can't, and they certainly do deserve it, and all the health heroes have been helping out through this entire crisis. Here are the latest numbers on the virus. The number of confirmed cases is now over 1.5 million in the U.S. More than 280,000 people have recovered. And our first story, that startling claim from President Trump that he's been taking hydroxychloroquine to protect himself against COVID-19.
The president says he's been taking it for over a week, despite an FDA warning that it can have dangerous side effects. Senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega starts us off with the latest this morning. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, Michael, good morning to you. The studies on taking hydroxychloroquine to prevent contracting COVID-19 are still underway as we speak. None of the results have been released yet. And as you say, the FDA warns against taking it unless you are in a hospital or a clinical trial. But that is not stopping President Trump. In the White House, surrounded by restaurant executives, the president made the stunning announcement as an off-the-cuff remark.
The frontline workers, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it.
Hydroxychloroquine?
I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine. Right now, yeah.
He says he's been taking the anti-malaria drug as a preventative measure for about a week and a half. That's right around the time of the first positive cases in the White House, the president's valet who serves his meals, and the vice president's press secretary. And President Trump says his White House doctor approves.
I asked him, what do you think? He said, well, if you'd like it. I said, yeah, I'd like it. I'd like to take it. A lot of people are taking it.
Overnight, the White House releasing a statement from the president's doctor who said, after numerous discussions he and I had regarding the evidence for and against the use of hydroxychloroquine, we concluded the potential benefit from the treatment outweighed the relative risks. It's a drug President Trump has repeatedly touted as a miracle cure for COVID-19. But studies investigating its effectiveness for prevention are ongoing, and initial observational studies on those already infected have shown limited or even no proven benefits. Even the FDA warns against using the drug outside hospitals or clinical trials and says hydroxychloroquine, when taken in combination with other drugs the president also says he took, has been linked to increased risk of heart problems. But President Trump dismissed the lack of evidence.
Can you explain, sir, though, what is the evidence that it has a preventative effect?
Here we go. You ready? Here's my evidence. I get a lot of positive calls about it. And I say, hey, you know the expression I've used, John? What do you have to lose? Okay, what do you have to lose?
The president's endorsement of the drug prompting this Fox News host to issue an urgent warning.
If you are in a risky population here and you are taking this as a preventative treatment to ward off the virus, or in a worst case scenario, you are dealing with the virus, and you are in this vulnerable population, it will kill you. I cannot stress enough. This will kill you.
And overnight, President Trump making another announcement, tweeting a 4-page letter attacking the World Health Organization, claiming it has shown an alarming lack of independence from China. The president also threatening to withdraw U.S. membership and permanently withhold all U.S. funding if major substantive improvements are not made in the next 30 days, a move that could have dire consequences during a global pandemic.
Now, the president says his tests for COVID-19 repeatedly come back negative. But remember, this is not the first time he's touted eyebrow-raising treatments for corona. There was that suggestion that disinfectants like bleach could be used inside the virus, inside the body to fight the virus. That prompted health experts, George, to issue urgent warnings, much like what we are talking about right now.
Okay, see, thanks very much. Let's bring in our health expert, Dr. Jennifer Ashton, for more on this. And Dr. Jen, the FDA could not be more clear. Hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine have not been shown to be safe and effective for treating or preventing COVID-19. So is there any hard evidence that it works?
Well, not at this point, George. And we have to remember, in medicine and science, we are always reassessing, reanalyzing, studying things. There are ongoing clinical trials that are recruiting patients right now to study hydroxychloroquine in the role of prevention, but there is no data yet. So again, we base our actions in medicine on 3 words: evidence-based medicine. And that's what we try to go by.
Right, and the FDA said it should only be used if you're in a clinical trial. But the president's doctor talked about the risks and rewards. Why don't you lay out those?
Well, I think when you talk about risks, we have to remember that this is a drug used by many patients with rheumatoid arthritis and lupus safely. There is a small risk of an irregular heartbeat known as long QT syndrome, and that's why the FDA approved it under emergency use authorization for COVID-19 in hospitalized patients. So you always have to balance risk versus benefit. And while there is a small risk, at this time, there is no clinically proven benefit in its role for prevention at this time. If that were to change, obviously we would be talking about it.
So Jen, I imagine doctors like you are going to be getting calls today from their patients all across the country saying, hey, I saw the president saying he's taking this to prevent COVID. Should I be taking it too? What are you going to tell them?
Well, because I am actually in charge for patients' lives, George, what I tell them is the same thing I say to you, which is risk versus benefit versus option alternative. And my favorite saying in medicine, just because you can do something doesn't always necessarily mean you should do it. So at this time, until we have any conclusive data, my answer would be the small risk outweighs any possible benefit.
Jen Ashton, thanks very much. Important advice. Robin?
All right, George, thank you very much, and thanks to Jen as well. Now we have the latest on that hopeful sign for a coronavirus vaccine. A major drug company announcing that their first experimental vaccine tested on humans is showing promising results. Eva Pilgrim has more for us. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, all eyes are watching the latest on the vaccine development, but with that still a ways off, here in New York, they are ramping up testing, opening up sites at police stations and firehouses like this one to test first responders as they continue to fight this vaccine.
This morning, hopeful news from biotech company Moderna reporting their vaccine has been found safe and effective in the first phase of its human trial.
We took the first 8 subjects in the study. They've got antibodies, but are those antibodies likely to be protective? Are they neutralizing the virus? And actually we saw, in fact, in all cases they were, which was really encouraging.
Early results showing all 45 patients developed the same level of antibodies as someone who has recovered from COVID-19. The company now heading into phase 2, testing about 600 patients. Phase 3 expected to start in July, testing as many as 10,000 people. This as most of the country, 49 states, have now eased restrictions. Cases are still rising in at least 11 states. In New York, talk that New York City could move into the first phase of reopening in early June.
The last thing in the world we want is, hey, take off some restrictions and immediately have a problem.
On Monday, Texas moving into stage 2, reopening gyms 2 days after marking its highest one-day increase in cases.
When we increase testing in hotspots, the number of people testing positive is going to spike. Usually within a week or two, the flare-up is contained.
Coast to coast, frustrations over opening up growing. In Columbus, Ohio, the owner of this bar and restaurant says he's not sure if he can even open again after being cited by the Department of Health for social distancing violations.
There's not clear guidance. That's all we're asking for.
In New Jersey, defiance outside this gym Monday. Determined to open its doors despite state orders. Police putting owners on notice, but no order to shut down.
You are all in violation of the executive order. On that note, have a good day. Everybody be safe.
And as we look ahead, the American Camp Association is recommending that all campers and staff take their temperatures for 2 weeks prior to arriving at any camp. And some colleges and universities are shifting their schedules, moving to online learning in December in order to avoid a second wave of this virus and the flu. Michael.
So many different approaches. Thank you so much, Eva. Now to the latest on kids and COVID-19. There are now more than 200 reported cases of that dangerous inflammatory syndrome that the CDC has now linked to coronavirus. But the World Health Organization is now claiming children are less capable of spreading the virus. Stephanie Ramos has the latest.
This morning, cases of the rare inflammatory illness in children growing. Doctors in 21 states and Washington, D.C. are investigating more than 200 cases of what the CDC recently named multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, linking it to COVID-19. Symptoms include fever, stomach pain, red, irritated eyes, and swollen lymph nodes. But while cases rise, the World Health Organization making this claim.
From what we know now, that children are less capable of spreading it, even if they get the infection, and certainly are at very low risk of getting ill from the disease.
Infectious disease experts and pediatricians say they need to see more data.
And they clearly can spread it. Children are often asymptomatic. So that still speaks to the need for ongoing testing to identify.
This as stories like 7-year-old Levi Pex in Detroit serve as a warning. His mother thought he had a stomach bug. Then 3 days later, his fever persisted, stomach illness worsened, and his eyes turned red.
If we would have waited one more day, we might not be here.
Hospitalized for 8 days, Levi has thankfully now recovered. The CDC says there are relatively fewer cases of COVID-19 among children, and because kids typically show milder to no symptoms at all, it's harder to find out if a child spreads the virus. George.
Stephanie Ramos, thanks very much. Now to Attorney General William Barr, at odds with President Trump over President Trump's unspecified allegations that former President Obama and Joe Biden are guilty of political crimes he calls Obamagate. The Attorney General said he does not expect a criminal investigation of either man. And our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, is in Washington with the details. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. Obamagate, as you say, it's been a rallying cry for the president and his supporters, the unsubstantiated and unspecified crimes that President Obama was supposed to have committed, according to President Trump. The Democrats say this is all an effort to distract attention, shift the focus from the president's performance in handling the coronavirus pandemic. And now the Attorney General, President Trump's handpicked Attorney General, has made clear that at this point the Justice Department wants none of this.
In a surprise move, Attorney General William Barr, who's been a staunch Trump loyalist, has broken ranks with his boss on a major issue, investigating and prosecuting Barack Obama and Joe Biden.
And as long as I'm Attorney General, the criminal justice system will not be used for partisan political ends.
The president and his allies have been clamoring for investigations into claims that Obama and Biden somehow broke the law during the Russia investigation into alleged ties between Trump and the Kremlin, while offering no evidence.
In my opinion, it was an illegal takedown.
But now Barr, who appointed a veteran prosecutor to look into these claims, has taken the extraordinary step of declaring that he does not see any evidence to justify a criminal investigation of either former President Obama or former Vice President Biden.
I don't expect Mr. Durham's work will lead to a criminal investigation of either man.
President Trump was dismayed.
What do you think of Mr. Barr's decision?
If it was me, I guarantee they'd be going after me. In his case, they're not. So I think it's just a continuation of a double standard. I'm surprised by it.
President Trump has said he'll let Attorney General Barr make the decision on who should be investigated. He says that's appropriate. But, George, I don't think we've heard the last of these charges, even with the Attorney General deciding they are baseless.
And, Terry, we also haven't heard the last on another note of the president's decision to fire that State Department Inspector General who was looking into the Secretary of State. We are told more calls from Congress for justification and investigation.
That's right. This is the fourth Inspector General the president has ousted. This one at the State Department, Steve Linick. He was investigating Secretary of State Pompeo on two fronts, according to the House Foreign Affairs Chairman, a Democrat. They're going to look into that. Pompeo says he didn't know about the investigations. He fired Linick because he wasn't performing well. That is certainly within his purview, but we have not heard the last of this, with Republicans as well calling for more information from the administration. George?
Terry Moran, thanks very much. Robin?
All right, George, now we have that new warning about danger on the road during the pandemic, as some police departments report a surge in reckless driving on empty roads. Our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez, has the latest.
As we head toward Memorial Day weekend, an urgent new warning with more and more dangerous scenes like these. Watch as cars speed through red lights, causing crash after crash. Concerns that street racing is also up in parts of the country. Just this weekend, police in Atlanta making 44 arrests.
People should not be taking to the roads and thinking that it's a time to go on joyrides and driving 100 miles an hour.
We hit the roads with Connecticut State Police to see just how fast drivers are going. Within minutes, Trooper Kurt Booker is pulling someone over.
Good morning, folks. I'm Trooper Booker from the State Police. The reason why I stopped you, got you 93. Is there any justification for your speed today?
This particular car was going 93 miles per hour. The speed limit, 65.
Trooper Josu Durelis says traffic here has gone down by 50%, but accident deaths are going up.
Fatal motor vehicle accidents have gone up about 40% or so.
40%?
Correct, 40%.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking.
It definitely is.
And it's not just Connecticut. We are seeing this all across the country. For example, in Minnesota, accidents and deaths have more than doubled during the pandemic. George?
My goodness. Okay, Gio, thanks very much. A lot more coming up, including Magic Johnson. He's standing by to talk about his $100 million pledge to help small businesses.
And that ABC News exclusive in that missing sibling mystery, the late husband of Lori Vallow on police body cam telling officers she'd gone crazy. But first, let's go to Ginger. Hey, Ginger.
Michael, Chicago has now had its wettest May on record. They just ticked past that number, and the video you see here is from Lyons, Illinois, just west-southwest, where they're rescuing that dog. And now I want you to see Midland County, Michigan. That is the Tittabawassee River this morning, well past its banks, challenging that Sanford Dam. They've had some evacuations as a precaution. Now we're watching western North Carolina, northern South Carolina, right through Kentucky and Ohio this morning having issues. 30 seconds away from your forecast, but first the Tuesday Trivia sponsored by Subaru.
Love. It's what we've always said makes Subaru, Subaru. And right now, love is more important than ever. In response to COVID-19, Subaru and our retailers are donating 50 million meals to Feeding America to help feed those who now need our help. It's all part of our commitment to our communities through Subaru Loves to Help. Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
It's like Groundhog Day. Yesterday was mostly cloudy, the high 68. Today, mostly cloudy, the high 68. And we could have a few late day showers. Now, for today, there's a slight chance that we could have a little bit of filtered sunshine, but for the most part, you can see the cloud cover. 64 degrees at noon, 68 at 3 p.m. Coolest of the week will be Wednesday, warmest Friday, but we're unsettled with showers. Maybe even a thunderstorm or two on Friday. And now rain for Saturday, but dry Sunday, for the most part, Monday.
Metastatic breast cancer is relentless. But I'm relentless too, because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly